everyone, welcome back, and today is week 3 of my Duran Duran album rankings. So of course we started off with Duran Duran, the debut album, and then last week we had Rio, which means that this week we have Seven and the Ragged Tiger. Now if you watched my actual album ranking video of ranking all the albums, you'll know that Seven and the Ragged Tiger was actually quite low down on my list of all 16 Duran Duran studio albums, my least favourite to favourite. And that's because I don't really listen to it a lot, and there's just albums I put higher up, but this isn't about where this album ranks on a list. It is about what my least favourite to favourite song on the album is. Also, I just want to add that just because a song is lower down on my list and it's my least favourite, it doesn't mean I don't actually like the song. It just means that it's one that I'm not as likely to listen to. It's one that I don't play much. So these album rankings are mostly just based upon like what I listen to more and which song I prefer to listen to. I don't really dislike any of the Duran Duran songs. There are just some that I don't listen to as much as the others, and that's more so what this ranking is based on, not because I just don't like a song. So we won't waste any more time, we will get straight into the rankings. So if you watched my first album ranking video, ranking the Duran Duran debut album, you will know that I mentioned I'm not that into instrumentals, and I'm really sorry about that. There's just not a lot of instrumentals I'm into. I do like an instrumental, you know, when it's like in the middle of an album and it, you know, it creates like a little gap, not a gap, but you know, it kind of connects two songs together in a way, like, you know, you need the instrumental break for the next lot of songs. Like, I love it when there's an instrumental then, but usually if there's like an instrumental at the end of an album and it's quite a long one, I don't tend to listen to them much. So at number 9 we have Tiger Tiger. I know that might be a bit unpopular because I know that a lot of Duran Duran fans love Tiger Tiger. It's one of people's favourite Duran Duran instrumentals from my knowledge, but I've not listened to it that much. I've listened to it a few times, I think more when watching live shows on YouTube, and I have obviously listened to it on the album as well. I've listened to it on the vinyl when I first got the vinyl, and I had no idea it was an instrumental at the time, so I was just waiting for singing. And I was waiting, and then it kind of hit me like, there's not any singing. This is the instrumental that's on the album. So I don't really know it that well, but from what I can remember of it, it is actually a nice little instrumental. It's just not my favourite song on the album. Therefore, it is at number 9. So at number 8, we have Of Crime and Passion. Now, I don't really listen to Of Crime and Passion much. In fact, I think I might have listened to it about 3 or 4 times. And this isn't because I don't like it or anything, it's just because I kind of forget to listen to it. I usually don't listen to the albums in full. I usually have them on a playlist, and I have like the songs I like best from the albums on the playlist. The songs that aren't on the playlist don't really get listened to a lot because I kind of forget to like revisit the albums and listen to all of the songs on there. So I haven't really listened to Of Crime and Passion much. If you ask me the words, I wouldn't really know them. So fantastic job, right? I'm really sorry. I should probably listen to Of Crime and Passion more, but for now, it is at number 8. Now, number 7 is a song that I actually really liked at like the beginning of like my Duran Duran fanness, and I still do, but it's just gone a lot lower down in the list since when I first started listening to it. Like before it would have been higher up, but there's a lot more songs on the album I listen to now, and this one has just ended up lower down. So at number 7 we have I Take the Dice. I really like I Take the Dice, you know. Show me a secret. Why can I not sing when I'm trying to actually, like, show me a secret and tell me your name. Catch me with your fizzy smile. I always get that and the song that I've put at number 3 confused. So I had to really think about which one I was putting in the right order when I was writing this list. But at number 7 we have I Take the Dice. It was one of my favourites, like I said, and I listen to it like so much, I'm surprised I'm actually not bored of it. So, you know, it will always be one of my favourites from Seven and the Ragged Tiger, but there are just songs that I felt needed to be higher up in this ranking, and so therefore I Take the Dice is at number 7. At number 6 is a song that I started to listen to more recently. Well, it wasn't super recently. It was after the Halloween show that Duran Duran did in 2022, because this is one of the songs that they played live there. I wasn't there, by the way, but I have seen the videos. Number 6 is Shadows on Your Side. I really like Shadows on Your Side. I don't actually listen to it that much, considering that I do actually quite like it, but for some reason I just wanted to put it higher up than I Take the Dice. I think because I Take the Dice was one of my favourites for so long, I felt like, you know, the songs that I listen to more now needed to be higher up, you know, I couldn't just be biased. But yeah, I actually thought that Shadows on Your Side would be on Danse Macabre, and I was actually shocked that it wasn't, because like I said, they played that at the Halloween show, and I just expected they'd make like a remake, a re-release version of it for Danse Macabre, but they didn't, which surprised me because I really expected that one. But you know, I'm not complaining. Danse Macabre is a great album, and all the songs on there I think work really well and fit really well. I just did think Shadows on Your Side would also be on there, but it's not, and it's fine. I sound like I'm complaining, I'm not. But at number 6 we have Shadows on Your Side. We are now entering the top 5, and at number 5 we have New Moon on Monday. I love New Moon on Monday. It is one of my favourite music videos, and I know the band don't like the music video, I'm sorry, but I think it's great. It makes me happy where they're all like dancing at the end, which I know is the bit they hate, and I am, again, so sorry, but I just think it's a great song. It's a great video. It's really catchy as well, and I just love New Moon on Monday. I have seen the full like 17-minute film of it, but that was quite a while ago, you know, like the mini film they made for it. I think it was 17 minutes long. That was quite a while ago, so I don't remember it completely, but there are little bits and pieces I remember, and I thought it was great. Gonna have to rewatch that sometime. But at number 5 we have New Moon on Monday. At number 4 is a song that I don't actually listen to that much, but I just felt like it deserved to be high up in the list, because it's so magical, it's majestic, it's just a really beautiful song. So number 4 we have The Seventh Stranger. Honestly, I think the song is beautiful, it's enchanting, it's majestic, it's just a really calming song, but there's also a little bit of sadness to it as well, sort of a melancholic feeling. But yeah, I think The Seventh Stranger is magical, and I know that a few years ago they played it in a live show, because I have seen the video, and I bet that was so amazing to see live. Also, like, obviously they played it in the 80s, and you know, obviously when they were doing the Sing Blue Silver tour, which is what my t-shirt is from, I'm pretty sure, I think it must just be really magical to hear like the songs they haven't played in a long time in more like recent years. For me, I would love to see the show for We're Not Gonna Go There. If you want to go there, you can watch the previous video. But yeah, I just think it's a truly beautiful song. There's a little bit of sadness in it, but it's just majestic, it's magical. I can't even think of words. And although I don't listen to it much, except for I sometimes watch the performance from As the Lights Go Down, or is it Arena? I always get them confused, but I'm pretty sure they're like kind of the same thing. But I just can't remember what the video is actually called. I'm sorry, I'm terrible, aren't I? But at number 4, we have the 7th, Stranger. Number 3, we have I'm Looking for Cracks in the Pavement. I just jumped right into that one, didn't I? This is a song that I said I get confused with I Take the Dice. Like when I'm trying to think of it in my head, I Take the Dice starts playing. I don't really listen to I'm Looking for Cracks in the Pavement a lot, but I just really like it. And I mean, would you believe, considering I can't even remember how it goes, like I have to think about it for a moment and actually think, no, that's I Take the Dice. This is how I'm Looking for Cracks in the Pavement goes. But I just like it, you know, something on my mind. I just think it's great, and it's kind of nonsensical. Like, I think I like it simply because of the line that's like, don't wanna be in public, my head is full of chapstick, I don't like this. Like, I love that lyric, I think it's great. So at number 3, we have I'm Looking for Cracks in the Pavement, and I will try and do better at remembering it. Now at number 2, we have Union of the Snake. This is a song I would love to see live. I mean, I've said that about many songs, and I will continue to say it about many songs throughout this little series I'm doing. But I love Union of the Snake, especially like live, because I have watched a lot of live performances of it. One of my favourite ones is the Live from London 2005 video of Union of the Snake. I think Union of the Snake's a great song. I do like the music video as well. It's quite strange, you know, with the reptilian guys on the dunes. I'm not entirely sure what they're supposed to be, actually. In my 2 years of being a Duranie almost, I still haven't figured out what those guys are, and I probably should look into it. I know it was filmed in Australia, in the Australian desert, but do I know what those guys are? No. But Union of the Snake is a great song, isn't it, you know? I feel like I've heard some people say they're not a fan of Union of the Snake, and I'm just like, right. But yeah, for some reason, Union of the Snake is my second favourite song. You probably know what my favourite song is going to be by now, if you know all the songs on the album. And I think we should get onto my favourite, because I will be here all day. So at number 2 is Union of the Snake. Now, at number 1, my favourite song, and this is probably, in fact, one of my all-time favourite Duran Duran songs. Like, this song will always have a special place in my heart. Like, this song will just always be special to me. It's the song I remember hearing as a kid on the radio, and I never knew who sung it, but it just made me happy anyway. Like, honestly. At number 1, my favourite song from Seven and the Ragged Tiger is The Reflex. Now, I have to admit, I do prefer the single version, the Nile Rodgers mix, because it's the one that they played on the radio, so I always like heard that when I was growing up, and it come on the radio, and that was just like my happy song. I didn't know who sung it, I didn't know what it was called, I didn't care at the time because I just loved it, and it never like really clicked in my mind to be like, who is this, you know? Like, I would just enjoy the song when it came on, really. The Reflex will just always be like a special song to me, and I think, like I always say, that's probably the song that like started it all, in a sense, like way before I even knew who Duran Duran were. But yeah, I love The Reflex. Like, I could go on about The Reflex forever. I didn't actually know about the version that isn't the single version. I thought the single version, like the Nile Rodgers mix, was actually just the Reflex. Until I got Seven and the Ragged Tiger on vinyl, and I played it, and I was like, this says it's the Reflex, but it doesn't sound like it. And I was like really confused, and I had to look it up, and then I found out that the version you hear on the radio and like the single mix is actually a different version. You know, I think it did it wonders. I have nothing against the original, the Reflex that's on Seven and the Ragged Tiger, but for me, just, you know, because it was the song I grew up like hearing, the version I always heard. The single version, like the single mix, will always be like my favourite version of the Reflex. But I do like the one on Seven and the Ragged Tiger. I just prefer the single mix, and I mean that might be a bit wrong considering this is about Seven and the Ragged Tiger, but still the Reflex came from there, didn't it? I mean, I do think it did it wonders having the single mix, and like I said, nothing against the Reflex on Seven and the Ragged Tiger. I just think that having the mix for the single, you know, it's what got the Reflex out there. I adore I'm just getting so giddy. But yeah, I love the Reflex, and it's just, I know that seems like such a crazy thing, because it's like, what is the song about? Like, everybody asks that question, and it's just like, well, it leaves you answered with a question mark, doesn't it? But I just like that. I think that's the thing I like about it. It doesn't really make sense, and you don't know what it's about. And maybe you're not supposed to, which is why we don't know. Like, you know, just accept that we don't know what the Reflex is about. If you want it to have a meaning, give it one. See, I will defend the Reflex forever. Like, don't test me when it comes to the Reflex. But yeah, I love it. It's nonsensical, like I just said, and it's bizarre, you know, as they say in the song. It is bizarre, but I just love that about it. I think I just loved and still love that it's just like, what is this song? It's crazy, but it's great, you know, like, I just love it. And I think, like, one thing I'll always say is a song doesn't have to make sense for it to be enjoyed, like, for it to be good. And, you know, like, it doesn't have to make sense to everyone. And for some songwriters, it only makes sense to them, and that's, you know, the way it's supposed to be, like, cryptic. But yeah, songs don't need to have a meaning to be enjoyed is one thing that I will always, like, stand by. And I know the Reflex doesn't really have a meaning unless you want to give it one, and it's still an amazing song. I could go on forever about the Reflex in the same way I could go on forever about the Chauffeur. Don't start me on those two songs, because I will never shut up. But anyway, that is my album ranking of Seven and the Ragged Tiger. I will be doing another 13 of these, because we still got 13 albums to go to. So if you want to stick around, please do. I would appreciate it. I will be uploading my album rankings weekly. So we still got 13 weeks to go. Thanks for watching, and until the next one, bye.